Hey, guess who's back? Again, on the same day of Wednesday for Wheel Wednesday. That's right, me. Today, prompt. Here it is. The Fact Keeper. That is the prompt. By Vito on Discord. Check out the Discord. A thing about that is that there's currently a server icon contest. I'm doing a thumbs up, but like obviously you can't tell. Anyways, for the art, for the Fact Keeper, I had an idea in my head where I was originally going to do like a magical library thing, and there would be a eldritchy creature thing sorting through. But I started doing that, and then I realized I don't like the idea at all, actually. It kind of isn't good, or at least what I was coming up with at the time. So I decided to instead switch to, well, at first I didn't decide owl. I looked up symbols of knowledge and facts, and one of them was an owl and a quill. I was like, well, isn't that convenient? So then I started doing an owl holding a quill. I also gave him like tomes or grimoires or fact books around his waist, and then some scrolls under his wing. Who knows how many facts are on those? Probably at least 2. Maybe more. I mean, it could only be 1, I guess. But probably unlikely, you know, being the fact keeper and all. I'm already out of stuff to talk about, honestly. Owl. Half human thing, just because. Needs posable thumbs to, you know, write. So, you know, owls can't write. At least, not easily. Process again. It's like, if you've seen any of the other videos that I've talked in, it's pretty similar. Do the outline of a dark color, do a fill mid-tony color, and then before merging those layers, I do a decent amount of rendering within like that mid-tone color, not mixing in the dark outlines yet. And then I, you know, merge them together and then mix in that dark outline color so it becomes smoother and there's no outlines. Except in rare occasions where I want outlines, but like I said, that's rare. And I cannot think of a time I did it off the top of my head except like the ones where it was just line art. Well, not just line art, but mostly line art. But that's like completely different. So, yeah. For the owl, I did use a reference. I literally just looked up owl on Google. I'm so good at finding references. I know. I basically used it for how the, you know, big surprise how all the owl parts looked. Feather colors, feather arrangements, like which direction the feathers went, especially on the head. Because let me tell you, if I did not have that reference, this owl head would have looked pretty terrible. Also, I should mention that I'm using that one pencil sketch brush that I've been using a whole lot recently, which is a default critter brush. I keep bringing that up because, you know, don't want people to go looking somewhere for it when it's right there. And I'm currently using it. I used it to do, like, all of the feathers, basically. It ended up not being all of them, because I did use my normal rendering brush at some point for a bit of it, and also like just a hard round brush with like opacity scaling based on pressure. But that is not till later. Well, the hard opacity brush isn't. The just normal render brush I use comes up pretty soon, I'm pretty sure. And no, the feathers are not backwards. the owl I looked at just had them going in V's pointing up and not down. So, you know, that's how I did it. Yep, there's the... Wait, no... I looked away for like 2 seconds. Oh. And for the... I get cloth... I don't know what you call this. The pants. I did use the same colors as the feathers, just to keep it cohesive, even though it is not really made of feathers. I mean, I kind of make it look like it kind of sort of is made of feathers, but it's not really. Oh yeah, the quill. I make it look like another one of their feathers, because, you know, it probably is, honestly. If you were made out of mostly quills and you liked writing down facts, would you not also use some of your own quills? Maybe don't answer that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Eventually I use overlay and multiply to add in, well, shadows and light. And I do use the same blue I used on the feathers for some of the multiply. And I also use a faded purple, which is what I would normally use. But I use that blue because, you know, I already had it selected, and then it fits with the rest of the blue, even though it is multiply. I also use a red in overlay, as well as like a bright yellow. The bright yellow for like the quote-unquote sunlight, and then the red for like when light passes through the body and it's the blood being shown through the skin and all that. Here I'm finally adding in those tomes. I tried to keep them pretty simple, instead of doing like, well, they are, I guess, actual pages, but the way I did it is literally just lines with a textured pencil brush. And then the outside covers are that hard circle brush with the opacity shifting that I mentioned earlier. And scrolls, I maybe probably should have looked at a reference. So, I mean, they exist. Rolls of paper. And one of them I put like a wooden... Would it be called a spool for a scroll? I don't know. The wooden handles for scrolls. I put one of those in one of them. They also ended up kind of like thick, so I'm not sure if it's paper. It might just be more like a leather. Yep, here's that wooden spool handle thing. I didn't lie. Just took a while to get there. And, yep, highlights in the eyes. Because, you know, they're eyeballs. But, like, I don't have much to talk about. It's now, like, multiply and overlay, and then the background, which is just a very simple background of like this green-ish color, and then the really light yellow. And then I did multiply and overlay. Yep. Real invigorating stuff. Yep. And like, yep, that, I don't know what to say. I don't talk enough, and I also don't have enough time to talk to get the practice in. Anyway, though, thank you for watching and listening. Happy Wheel Wednesday again. See you on the next Wheel Wednesday, probably. Bye bye. 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 Have a good day. Bye.